another episode of the Total R&B Podcast. And today I'm super excited because I am such a big fan of this artist. She is a singer from Philly. You may have seen her, you may recognize her. She was singing background for Lady Gaga. She was also a part of Kanye West's Sunday Service Choir. She's been on tour with Eric Bellinger. And now she has been working with a Grammy winning producer, Harmony Samuels. She is here today to talk about her brand new EP that came out today called Set that I love. So, welcome to the podcast, GoGo Morrow. How are you?
Great. I'm so happy. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
No, of course. Thank you so much. I know this is a busy time because you were just, New York Fashion Week, and I saw you on the radar. You're doing a lot of promo for this album. So thank
Yeah,
you
of
for taking time out for me. I do appreciate it.
course. Thank you for giving me the platform. I appreciate it. So thank you.
So I always start off my podcast the same way. I always ask the same question, which is what comes to mind when I say, what is your first memory of R&B music?
Good question. My first memory. Okay. My dad took me to a Janet Jackson concert when I was like 5. And I think I don't remember what tour it was, but I just have like vivid memories of watching the stage and the lights and her, and I was so enamored. And I don't know why he would take me to I don't know why he would take me to a Janet Jackson concert at 5, but that's like one of my earliest like memories of being enamored with music or with like performing. And it's blurry, but it's memorable enough for me to like know that somehow I fell in love with something I saw when I was 5.
That's amazing to have that as your first concert at 5 years old, Janet Jackson.
Yeah, my dad took me to a lot of concerts. It was so interesting. I was talking to him about this not too long ago. He took me to see the Whispers when I was like 10. He
Oh,
took me to see the Whispers. He also took me to see Maxwell. Like me and my younger sister, we were like his concert buddies. So my dad is fully responsible for who I am today and wanting to be an artist for sure.
well, shout out to your dad because that's amazing. Like,
Yes.
listen, I will tell you my Janet Jackson experience. Like, she came because I'm in Canada, so we don't often get to see Janet Jackson. So she was coming to Montreal. It was her and LL Cool J. And me and my best friend, like that's my concert buddy, and we're like, we're gonna go see Janet Jackson. We were so excited.
Yeah.
That day I finished work a little late. And so I got dressed. The like place, the arena, wherever like the concerts are, it was like literally like up the street from my house. So I was literally running up a hill to get there because I'm like, I don't want to miss anything to go
Yeah.
there. But the show was canceled because she got sick.
Oh my God. No. That's the worst. That is the worst when you're so excited about something, especially your favorite artist, and then it doesn't happen. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I'm sorry that happened.
Yeah, no. So it sucked. Like I wasn't like angry, but I was like, damn, I was so close to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I saw her like years later. I got to see her in Toronto, so that was
You
good.
made
But
up for it.
exactly, exactly. So I want to get into set because while we're recording this, it just came out today.
Yeah.
So all day today at work, I had like one of my AirPods in so I can listen to the whole thing. I love it. It's such a good album. I
Thank
think it's
you.
gonna relate to a lot of girls because we don't often talk about, that side of ourselves. So I think it's really cool. So congratulations on
Thank you.
releasing it, of course. But what does set mean to you personally?
Set is it's taken on a different meaning from when I first named the project Set. When I first came up with the concept of Ready and Set, it was more so just like a way of dividing an album that I had created into 3 parts because I knew I was new and people were still gonna need to discover me in bits and pieces. So that was kind of the concept of breaking up the projects. But once I started creating for each project, the time that I was in when I was writing Set, it was this space of being emotionally unavailable. So it kind of took a life of its own. And now I connect the title with the feeling as far as like being set in my ways, being set in who I am as a woman, and setting my standards and my boundaries. And so set has now become, I think the concept, I mean, the feeling of the music came and then it matched with the title like later on.
Okay, definitely. And I like that. Like for one of the songs too, like emotionally unavailable, because you hear a lot of times that with men being
Yeah.
emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
For us to hear a woman talk about that, because it does happen, especially now. I feel like most of us, like you said, we're chasing money and are growing our careers because you
Yeah.
know that has been bringing us security. Unlike
Peace.
relationships have been hard.
Yes. And peace. Yes.
Yes, exactly. So it's very relatable. So I like that you took those topics and you brought that out. But was it hard to be vulnerable to talk about those things?
Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie. It was definitely therapeutic. Having these self realizations is not always an easy thing. And it's not like something you innately know. It's like something you learn about yourself as you go through different experiences. So, like, you date different guys and they're like, you're distant, you're detached. And then you start thinking about, like, well, why is that? And then it's like, oh, because I'm emotionally unavailable. I don't really have the desire to make myself that accessible to you in the space that I'm in at this current moment. So, having those self realizations are not always easy, especially as a woman, because we're expected to want to be with someone. We're expected to want to be in a relationship. So, when you encounter a man who doesn't understand it, they're like, what's wrong with you? And it's like, nothing, nothing wrong with me. What's wrong with you? That I'm still feeling this way and you're around. So, it's a real subject. It's a real, very real, relatable subject, but it wasn't that easy to come to that realization. No.
But that's the thing. You hear so many stories, whether it's online or with your friends, of what's
Hmm.
happening. So I think also too, if we felt more safe, I mean, I think then we wouldn't be so guarded all the time.
And that's the key right there. That's the key.
Yeah,
That's the standard that I'm talking about. Yeah.
exactly. You just released the video for La La Lies,
Hmm.
which is super dope. So how did you come up with the concept for that video?
Yeah. So La La Lies, it's a high energy record, and part of me wanted to dance in it, but then the other part was like, no, I feel like we should just tell the story, and I want it to feel like a girls anthem. So I'm just gonna call my girls and we're gonna have fun. We're gonna get my hair done, and just be a black woman in a space of being comfortable with their friends to tell the story and make them comfortable, safe enough for them to tell the story. So that was really the idea behind it, was just like making it a natural setting for what that naturally would look like. That kind of conversation, with like talking about guys like, oh, do you know what's the last lie he told you? Oh, he asked for my shoe size and didn't ever buy me any shoes. It's that kind of feeling that I wanted to bring to the video in order to tell that story. So that's how we came up. I might dance later to it, but right now I just wanted to create that safe space where women can feel like, we're doing like a podcast, or we're having a round table.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that is also like the place, hair salons is where we often talk about different things, or you hear, I remember being a kid and
Yeah.
hearing all the older women talk about their different problems and things
Yeah.
like that. It's like a safe space. So you had recreated that in a different atmosphere, and I thought it was really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, that was the idea. So thank you for getting that.
And another video that you put out that I thought was cool too is really simple, was the Hard to Love. It's just like a silhouette of you
Yeah.
dancing on the chair with the red background. It kind of reminded me of the silhouette challenge that was happening during the
Yeah.
pandemic. Yeah. So how did you decide to do that with that video?
So that silhouette challenge wasn't really the inspiration, but I thought about after we did it, I thought that related to that as well. But the inspiration behind that was really like Kill Bill.
Mm.
Kill Bill is like one of my favorite movies, and there's like this fight scene with Uma Thurman where everything is like in silhouette, and I just thought it looked so badass, and I wanted Hard to Love to convey like that tension, that emotional tension of like maybe wanting it but not, but being ready for love, and so that. that fight scene from Kill Bill and the song just married so well together to me for that to help support tell the story.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I have to go back. I haven't seen that film in so long, but it
Yeah.
was done so well. And once you said it, I was like, okay, yeah, I do see that from that fight scene. That's really
Yeah.
cool. Put that together. I also want to talk about because you were just on the radar. They put out that performance of La La La. So how was that? Because I always wonder how those like performances are done, and how was that experience for you?
Yeah, I didn't know exactly what to expect either, but it was actually a really simple process. I sang the song twice. I chose what take I liked the best, and then they kind of went with it. There was three cameras that you played to, and then they cut between cameras. But it was a very simple process. Cute room. I didn't. It's bigger than I thought it was. But it's really simple, and the whole crew was so kind. They were so nice. They made sure I was comfortable. They made sure I liked my performance before I left the building. I would love to go back again for a later project, but on the radar, it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing that.
I think you'll definitely be back
Yeah,
on the radar. So even hopefully still for set because there's so many like good songs on the
yeah.
EP. There's definitely more. I would love to see more like performances from the songs on this
Thank
EP.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
definitely, definitely dope. I want to talk about your connection with Harmony Samuels because you've been working with him for a while and
Yeah.
produced on this album too. So how is that partnership like? Like, what does he bring out of you as an artist?
Yeah, Harmony's my executive producer. I've been working with him legit been working with him since I moved to LA. Even Emotionally Unavailable, that's one of my oldest songs. That was one of the first songs we did together. And I loved it so much. I was holding on to it for the right moment. And when we started creating songs for set, I was like, we found the space for it. But Harmony is amazing. He's such a genius. And I think the thing that makes us work well together is our trust for each other, our trust for each other's genius. I think he's one of the best producers ever. He can make anything, any kind of genre of music. And I think he trusts my writing. He trusts my vision for myself as an artist. So he knows he's comfortable with me saying, like, no, I wouldn't sing that. Or I want to tell it from this perspective. And he completely trusts the perspective I choose to tell my stories from. So it works really well together. Not only that, he knows my voice, he also vocal produces me. So he's like, all the harmonies you hear, all the layers and everything, we do those together. All the ad libs that I do, we do those together. He'll give me an idea. I'll be like, I don't really know what to do in this space, and he'll do it. Like he actually can sing. A lot of people don't know that, but he
Yeah,
can.
I know.
Yeah, he can sing well enough to convey an idea. Just working with each other and just also being like brother and sister, him knowing my story and knowing my heartbreaks and everything, it makes it easy for us to make really organic music together.
Yeah, I love that. Well, and I like when an artist and a producer or songwriter they find each other and they mesh really well, and
Yeah,
it's kind of like a team. Like you see that with like who was I gonna say?
Rodney
Like
Jerkins and Brandy,
yeah, like
Lynn, Aaliyah.
yeah. I think that is so special to find someone
Yeah,
because there's so many artists and they don't get that opportunity or that chance. So I
yeah,
think that's super cool that you found someone that you mesh well with and you guys make really good music. So that is
yeah. I told him I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. I knew this was a God connection, and I was like, I'm not going anywhere. So I don't care how much we fight about anything. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're going to settle it because we got work to do. So we're so tight, like nothing can pull us apart.
I love that.
Yeah,
Another amazing person that you got to work with on this project too, I think he is so talented, which is Ant Clemons.
yeah.
He wrote on some of the songs. So how is that like those sessions with him, working with him?
Yes, I just got so lucky that he's one of my best friends, and then he's also one of the best writers in the game right now. Like, we literally, me and Aunt, we moved to LA together. Like, I think I came out here a month after him. And so the first person I was living with, she kicked me out. He came and picked me up in the middle of the night. Like, me and Aunt are really, really, like, we're really friends in real life. And I've always admired his talent. I think he's like, beyond, no one even understands how talented he is. He can do, just like Harmony, he can do any genre. He can write for any artist. He understands their voice. He understands that. So with Ant, it was so easy because again, he's one of my best friends. He knows what I go through. So we literally sit down, have a conversation, and we start writing together. And it's like it's the easiest process because we just piggyback off of each other. He'll say a line, I'll say a line. He says a line, I'll say a line. And then sometimes I let him cook. I'm like, I'm gonna let him cook on this one, you know? And then if it's something I feel like I wanna change or I wanna like amp up or say in a different way, I'll come, come make alterations. But he's like amazing and it's so good. And I'm just so blessed that I have access to him because he's my friend.
No,
Everybody doesn't have access to him.
well, exactly. So that's a plus that you were able to like foster that relationship.
Yeah, sure.
That is super dope. And then I was going to ask, because moving from Philadelphia to Los Angeles, how important was it to find like good people to surround yourself with?
Oh, for me, it was everything. I wouldn't have still been here if it wasn't for me finding my community. And my community was actually people from Philly that moved here too. And they really covered me. And they were all guys. My brothers, it was my brother Scott, who's he's part of a producer duo called Triangle Park. And it was Ant. And then there was another producer named Ali and Dre. And so when I got out here, I ended up long story short, I ended up moving in with a crazy person, a crazy girl. And so I had to, it was SOS, urgent, urgent, 911, come get me. And so all my brothers came and got me. And I ended up living with them for like 2 months. I felt like Cinderella. I was cleaning and I was cooking for them until I found my apartment and I was able to, be self sufficient. But they really held me down for those 2 months that I didn't have anywhere to go. And if it weren't for them, I wouldn't have been able to stay in LA. I would have been back in Philly and I don't even know that I would have made it back here. Once you leave, it's harder to get back here. So, but I just knew in my spirit, God, when I came here, God was like, do not leave. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter how challenging it is. Do not leave. So I did everything in my power to stay here and it paid off.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's beautiful too, that you have like a set of brothers that look out for you.
Yeah, and we're still super tight. We go on hikes together. Like whenever we're all getting too busy, it's like time to check in hike club time, and we go hiking. We catch up with each other and let each other know what's going on in our personal and professional lives.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
I also wanted to talk fashion because whenever
Hmm.
I see you, I always love your outfits.
Thank you.
First, I love the blue hair. So, is that something that you're into, fashion?
Yes, yes. I always say my second love is fashion. I really, really like when somebody give me some real money. It's gonna be over for everybody. When I get some real money, it's gonna be over for everybody because I love fashion so much. I just think it's another form of expression. It's another art form, and it's a way to tell. Like I like to tell stories through music, but I also like to tell stories with what I wear, like how I feel that day. Very multidimensional. So I might dress like Tom Girl one day, or then one day I might be very feminine. It just depends on how I feel. And so I look at fashion as just another way to tell stories and express yourself and self-expression. And I often say this is interesting because I really don't like attention. I'm really shy in real life, but you would never know it by how I dress and the fact that I have blue hair. But I just think it's how I express myself versus being a talkative person or always having something to say. I'm usually pretty quiet, but my my appearance will say it for me.
Yeah, no, but I think that makes a lot of sense to be so we're presenting like, shy on the inside. I think that's something that a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't know. You like the fashion game that you have now, I think is amazing. So I could just imagine once you have like the money that you want, what you're gonna
It's
do.
over. It's over. It's over for everybody.
Oh my
But
gosh. Would
thank you.
you
I'm joking. Thank you.
No, of course, of course. Talk your stuff. Would you ever like create a line or would you more so want to like partner with someone and do like your own collection?
Yeah, I have so many designs. I design things as my hobby. I design things as a hobby. I've been designing clothes since I was very young. I designed like my sister's prom dresses. So yeah, I'm a designer as well. But I just, it's like it's like one of my hidden talents, like something I do privately. But I definitely have aspirations of getting the things that I create actually manufactured into like a real thing. I also want to focus whenever I really start merch, I want my merch to be really fashion driven and not just a t-shirt with a name on it. So that's why I'm taking my time with that as well.
Yeah, I could definitely see you doing that. Or one of the like fashion brands coming out with your own collection to be a part of it.
Just call me. I'm definitely down to collab and I want to put some of my favorite brands. I would love to start that now for sure. Call me, whoever's watching this.
Yeah, no, that I think that would definitely will happen for you. I did want to talk about another song that's on the EP that I really like, which is I think it's the last song, "Smoke and Mirrors."
Hmm.
How was that creating that song? Because that's a very vulnerable song,
Yeah.
with the lyrics that you have in there.
Yeah, so Smoke and Mirrors was like that's the last song I created for the project. And it was timely because it was also in the space I was transitioning out of being like emotionally unavailable and being, at the end of the day, I do want somebody, I do want to feel safe and I want to feel loved and I do want companionship. I don't want to do life alone. And so it was a great way for me to be honest and wrap up the story of Set because it's like, yeah, we could talk about this and that and being savage and everything else, but we're humans. We're designed to want companionship. And so that was just me being honest and saying, like, yeah, I know I said all of this, but really this is you get down to this one song and it's like, girl, you was fronting that whole time. And that's really what Smoke and Mirrors is. It's like, okay, I really do want to be loved. I really do want to love someone.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people will relate to that because I think that's what all of us want at the end of the
Mhm.
day. But a lot of us can't really express that or don't feel comfortable. They feel like they have to like keep it as like I am hard to love or I am not going to open up. I'm shutting down. But in
Yeah.
reality, because I think we're all supposed to be with someone. We're not supposed to be alone
Yeah,
for
too long. Yeah, and I think that that is part of maturing too. Like maturing is for me in my journey. The older I get, the less ego I have in anything. Like I'm pretty much honest with anybody that I care about, whether it makes me like look like I'm the pursuer or not. I'm just like, I don't listen. I don't care anymore. I don't have any ego. I'm just gonna tell you how I feel, whether it's good, bad, or the ugly. And that's what Smoky Mirrors is too. Is like just being so honest and vulnerable about what you really feel inside under the surface and being strong and brave enough to actually say it.
That's real. And I want to ask you because I just had this conversation with someone else, and they were saying how, because in one of her songs, she was apologizing for her role in a relationship. And
Hmm.
a lot of guys were like, oh, finally, a woman's apologizing because they feel that we don't apologize ever. And I
Yeah.
feel that is totally a lie. I feel like we will own up to it if there is something to own up.
Yeah. You know what? I'm divided on that because I think we will own up to it, but I think it takes us a minute. I think it takes us a minute to like really take accountability. I'm with guys because I see it and I have a lot of guy friends too. So I hear the stories. And plus me, myself, I'm like, okay, I can come to my accountability a little faster. Like it won't hurt me to like come to that point faster. Like I am self-reflective, but I will definitely fight you teeth and nail until I have no fight left. And then I'm like, okay, you're right. I'm sorry. So I think we can come to owning our stuff a little faster versus having them go through all of the hoops and bounds before we finally say sorry. So I'm divided. I think we do say sorry, but I think we can do it a little quicker.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it does take time because we're gonna go through all the emotion and we're gonna make
Yeah,
sure you feel a little bit of the emotion first.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. But that was a good one because they were saying like women don't apologize at all. And I'm like, really? I feel like we
No,
do.
that's not true. It just takes us a minute. That's it.
I also want to talk about R&B because there's so much conversation now about R&B. I am not going to ask you if you think R&B is dead because I hate that conversation
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. Same.
But I do want to ask you what you feel is missing because for me, I feel like R&B is in a really good space, but
Mhm.
we don't have enough representation at award shows.
Hmm.
So like the big stages, you don't always get to see R&B artists, or we no longer have the Soul Train Awards anymore.
Hmm.
That's what I feel is missing. And for you, what would you like to see for R&B?
Yeah, no, I'm in complete agreement. I've been asked this a couple times, and I always say that I don't think R&B is anywhere near dead. I think we have a lot of amazing artists, a lot of whom are even building their own communities, and they're selling out shows, people we may not even ever heard of. So R&B is definitely thriving. I just believe we don't have the platforms to highlight it. Like you said, we lost the Soul Train Awards. That was a place where artists where they would break R&B artists. We don't have 106 in Park anymore. We don't have TRL. We don't have, the Oprah show to break somebody like Alicia Keys broke when Clive Davis brought her. We don't have those places or those spaces where people can discover us. It's kind of like just left to Instagram. And then now the labels are like, well, you gotta get popping on Instagram, And it's like, okay, there's only so much you could do in one space. So I definitely think that we need people to come and curate these spaces for us to shine and be discovered. And I think that will make all the difference in like the state of how people perceive the state of R&B is if we have the platforms to shine and also just collaborate with each other and just hang like we don't have those places to like hang out with our peers or so I think that's what it is. Like you said, I just piggyback off of what you said. We need the spaces and the platforms.
Yeah, more platforms are definitely needed for R&B artists.
Yeah.
I think that would be great if somebody could get that going.
Not anybody to help us.
Exactly. Exactly. As an artist, how do you go about building your fan base community? Because I always feel like artists should focus on building community with their
Yeah.
fans. How do you do that? Because now it's so different than compared to the 90s or the early 2000s.
Yeah, for in all transparency, it's difficult. It's difficult. I find I connect more with people and I get more organic fans when I'm on the road, when I'm performing. That's ideal for me. I love performing. That's my favorite thing to do out of being an artist. I love being on stage. And I love meeting new people. I love meeting new fans or making new fans and like really making people believers from them seeing me in person. That's my favorite way of building community. As far as like, internet and everything, I'm still a work in progress with that. I'm trying to train my mind to become a content creator so that I can build community that way as well. But for me, I see the most results in the grassroots way of doing it. And that's like going out on the road and performing and meeting people face to face and shaking hands and hugging and, and letting them see me and putting my music in their phone personally. That's how it works best for me.
I think that is a great way to do it, to not always rely on social media. I know a
Yeah.
lot of people want to see the numbers
Yeah.
technically, but
Yeah.
I think in person is really great. And doing social media is hard. Like,
Yes.
I was a social media manager. I still kind of do that with my job now, and it's a lot of work. So,
It's a lot of work. I've been training myself to my manager's been laughing because we've been shooting a lot of content, but I'm editing it myself. And I'm like, Jesus, this is a lot of work. This is what you guys do. This is hours and hours of work to edit, content. And I'm getting better at it. And I'm actually starting to have fun with it. I've really fought it for a long time. Like, I'm an artist. I shouldn't have to, but we're here, you have to adapt or die. We're here. So um I'm actually starting to have fun with creating content, but it's definitely not easy. It's not easy at all.
no, it's not easy, but the more you do it, the better it is. And once you find the best way for you to go about it, it'll be a lot more enjoyable and it won't
Yeah.
take as long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, with this era of set, like, what does success look like to you?
Success looks like what we just talked about was building community. Like I really want to find my people. I know I have a small community, but I want to expand it. I want to have like a reach and actually talk to them personally. And I do. I talk to a lot of people in my DMs and everything, but I just want to have more rapport with the community that I'm building. And I really want to have a solid core of people that I know going to always have my back. And that's what my mission is now. It's like I have a lot of other goals as well. Like, of course, I want to win a Grammy and I want to tour and I want to, but my short term goal right now is to really start building out my community so that I have that support.
It's gonna happen. I think the more that you work the project and do all the things that you're already doing, I'm certain it's gonna grow because you put out really great music, which is like the
Thank
biggest
you.
part of it, right? So
Yeah. Thank you.
definitely,
I receive that. I receive it. Thank you.
I'm gonna see you.
Amen.
Yeah, I'm gonna get. That's my goal to get on the red carpet at the Grammys to interview people. So I'll see you there.
Period. We'll be right there together. I'm like, hey, girl.
Exactly. I did want to take it back a little bit because before you had released Ready and Set, you did background vocals for Lady Gaga, which is
Hmm.
amazing. So, how did that opportunity come to you?
Yeah. So I had just finished school and I was like, what am I going to do? I didn't know what I was going to do. Like, I went to school for music business and music performance, but I did going to school for music really kind of stripped my love for it away. It just became so like mundane and like, ugh, whatever. So I kind of got away from wanting to do music, and then I started flirting with the idea of like still being in music but being behind the scenes, either being an A&R or an entertainment lawyer. Because that's another thing I've always been told my whole life. Like you are a debater, you're a critical thinker, you need to be a lawyer. So I was like, okay, I can marry the worlds and become an entertainment lawyer. So after I finished school, I applied to Drexel Law School, and in order for me to get a discount because it was so expensive, they were like, well, you could try to get a job here. So I took a job at Drexel. I applied for the school, and I was about to start law school, and I was like, I don't want to. What am I doing? I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to go back to school for. I don't want to do any of this. And so, as I was talking to God, I literally got a call from my friend. His name's Vladimir Versalis. He's an actor. I got a call from my friend. He was like, he who lived in New York at the time, and he was like, I just heard about these Kelly Rowland auditions. You should come. Like, you can come. I got an extra room. You can come. You can come stay in my extra room, and you should really go to the audition. And I was like, but I have work and I'm supposed to be starting school. And then he was like, okay. And then I was like, you just said you didn't want to do this. What would stop you from going? And so while I was still debating, he just sends me a bus ticket. He bought my Greyhound bus ticket for me. And I was like, okay, I guess I got to go. So I went. I didn't tell anybody I was going. I didn't tell my mom or my sisters or anything. I just got on the bus and I went to the audition. It was like a whole day's process. There was so many girls that showed up. And then I got called back like twice. And then at the second callback, they didn't tell us like if we got it or not. They just sent us home. So I was back on the bus back to Philly at like 2 in the morning by myself. And then like 2 weeks went by, and I was like, I guess I didn't get it. I didn't hear anything. And then literally like just ran a random afternoon, I got a call from a strange number, and I thought it was like Sally Mae because I just finished school. I thought they were tracking me down for my student loans. And so I didn't answer. I'm like, I'm not answering that. I don't know whose number that is. I ain't got no money. Leave me alone. And so I got a voice note and it was like, hi, this is Kelly Marie Dunn from the Kelly Rowland auditions. Please give me a call back. And I was like, oh my God. And I didn't even call her back. I called my sister. I'm like, I just got a call. And so she was like, okay, did you call them back? And I was like, no, I didn't call them back. She's like, call them back and find out what they want. So I called back, and the woman Kelly put me on the phone with her boss, whose name is Joe Wilson. He's the music director. And he asked me, he was like, hey, so you didn't get the Kelly Rowland audition. And I'm just like, okay, you waited 2 weeks to tell me that. Okay. All right. And he was like, but there's another opportunity that I think you would be great for. He was like, we're about to go out on the road with Lady Gaga, and I think you would be great as an alto, as a background singer for that tour. And I was like, yeah. And so he's like, no, I really need you to take your time and think about it because you're gonna be on the road for about almost 2 years. And I was like, I don't care, I want to go. So I literally from that phone call to like maybe 4 days later, I was on stage at the Staples Center. My first show was at the Staples Center. I had 2 days of rehearsal, which really was one with Lorianne Gibson. That's when I first met Loreena, teaching me the choreo because they all had everybody was already established in the show. I was like the last one to come aboard, so I had to learn the whole entire show in 2 days. First time ever being in LA by myself. And then I didn't meet Lady Gaga until right before we went on stage. And she like slapped my butt and was like, let's go, come on. And so I was like, it was such a surreal moment because I was just like, I was literally at work 4 days ago, working in the office, about to go to law school, and now I'm performing in front of 30,000 people. And from that moment, my life changed. I just was like, I need to do this forever. I need this for myself. And so after that tour, ended, I got straight to work and on trying to be a solo artist, which was a very humbling experience because when your first thing is Lady Gaga and she's at the height of her career, you're staying in 5-star hotels, you eat whatever you want, you travel in the world, and then it's time for you to be a solo artist. And it's like, okay, you got to go to this club and ask if you could sing in front of 3 people. And so it was extremely humbling, but it was so cool because I was so green. I didn't even train my mind to think that on a small scale. So I was doing these big productions. I had 4 or 5 dancers in these little tiny clubs, but it was helping me make a name for myself in the city. And eventually I sold out my own shows in Philly. I did everything in Philly. Like after that, I did everything in Philly. So much so that I had to leave. I had to come to LA because there was nothing else to do for me, nothing else for me there. And that's how I got here. I just exhausted all my possibilities at home. And then I came here
No,
and figuring it
that
out.
is so dope. First of all, you have some amazing people around you to
Yeah,
have your friend like tell you about the audition because he knew you did not want to go to law school and do all of that, and to get
yeah,
your Greyhound ticket because he's like, you're tripping. You need
yeah,
to be
yeah,
that is amazing. And then Lady
yeah,
Gaga is out of this world. To
yeah,
be your first tour and your first show in the Staples Center is like,
yeah. It was crazy, very, very crazy. I still think about it like that was crazy. Like that was really crazy. But yeah, it was. I've had a lot of like moments. It's interesting. I feel like I'm doing therapy right now because in the beginning of me deciding to be an artist, I had a lot of huge moments. And then I feel like the space that I'm in now, I'm having to go back and do the groundwork that I kind of was supposed to do then. And I love it though because it's just giving me so many different perspectives. Like I had the big experiences, so I know what to expect. I know how to prepare for that. But I'm also preparing in the small spaces so that I'm well versed in all types of arenas, all types of different performances. So it's just I have an interesting journey. I've always
yeah.
had an interesting journey.
But I think it's good that you had that experience so that you're excited like growing this journey that you're on now to get back
Yeah,
to the point to be on those stages, but for yourself, you know?
exactly, exactly. And also, my one of my goals is to like bring my family with me because I traveled the world. I've been everywhere, but I never been able to like show that to the people that I love the most. That's one of the main things. It's like, okay, now I'll do it for myself and I'll be able to bring my mom, my dad, my sisters, my nieces, and not be alone in those spaces where I'm just like, oh, this is beautiful, but I don't have anybody to show or tell or. So I'll
Yeah.
be able to share those moments with my family this time around.
And what's something that you learned while being on tour with like Lady Gaga or even like Eric Bellinger that you take with
Mhm.
you?
Yeah, they're two completely different experiences because Lady Gaga I was singing background. With Eric, I was opening for him. And that was a lot of work because I'm an independent artist. So me and my manager were driving everywhere. I'm designing the costumes. I'm picking out the costumes. I literally do everything when it comes to like who I am now versus what I had to do then. I just had to show up and perform. I didn't even have to do my own makeup then. So two completely different experiences, but this one is the one for myself is way more rewarding because knowing how much work goes into just me being a performer myself and getting those real fans who really love you for you versus love you because you're attached to somebody that they already love it's extremely rewarding. And in both scenarios, I learned a lot from the artist that I was there with. Like I learned a lot from Eric. Eric is so great with his fans. He's amazing with his fans. He really, really cares about his fans. So does Lady Gaga. But because Eric's an independent artist, he can touch his fans. And so even seeing how he works in his meet and greets, like his meet and greets used to be concerts. Like he would literally sing for his meet and greet guests before the show even started. And I'd just be looking like, that is a lot of work. Like you're gonna sing, like you singing before you actually like do a full-on show. And I just thought that was so admirable with him. And that's the common thread between both of those artists is like Lady Gaga loves her fans as well. And Eric loves his fans. So I think the care that Eric has for his fans leads to the kind of artist that Lady Gaga became, and that's what I took from them. I just really want to love on my fans and show how grateful, show them real gratitude for them listening. And I'm so grateful for each person who listens to my music. One person, I literally shed a tear. If somebody, one person's like, "I love your song," I'm just like, "Thank you, thank you so much for listening." I'm just so grateful because people don't have to listen, and there's so much music out there. So just anyone who listens to my music, I'm just so grateful for them.
No, that's great. And I like that you took that from Eric Bellinger, how he treats his fans, and doing a whole mini concert before the show is wild.
Yeah.
But that's really cool because I remember like my older sister, she loves Method Man, and Method Man and Redman came to our city, and her best friend bought her tickets, but also bought like the meet and greet passes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they get into the line, but it was like, okay, take a picture next, take a picture next.
Yeah.
So my sister's like, it was her turn, and she's like, no, you pushed me to the side. We are gonna.
Right.
And they're like, yes, Queen, don't worry. So they spoke to her and they took a video and a picture and all those things. Yeah, but she had to be like, no, no, no. I paid my
Right.
money.
I paid for a connection, not just a picture. Yeah. And I think that that is the key right there is making a real connection and showing, like I said, showing gratitude.
Yeah, no, I think it goes a long way when you show that. It doesn't have to be a full out like mini concert, but just taking like
Yeah,
those 2 extra seconds to communicate with your fans, I think makes a big difference.
absolutely. I agree. Absolutely.
I love that when we were talking about Harmony Samuels, because you've been working with him for so long. Like, what's something that you learned from yourself, like doing this project with him?
Something I learned about myself. You said about myself?
Yeah.
Something I learned about myself is that I really am a perfectionist. And it's something that can be debilitating to me. Like always wanting to be so perfect where, you hold on to things until it's like the right moment and it's just not realistic, and people they like imperfections and they want to see the process. So I'm unlearning like all of those perfectionism ways. I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm unlearning all of that. And Harmony helps me with that too. Like, go. It's not, you don't gotta sing this, a million times. There's other times where he will make me sing something over and over, but then there's other times like my song In the Way, my very first single, that's a demo. He never let me re-sing that. He never let me re-sing it. Me and my co-writer for that song, his name's Sean Butler. We wrote the song, and each line I sang as we went along writing the songs. And so it was just a reference to play for him to see if he liked it. And he's like, "You're not re-singing this, no." And I begged him for months, like, "Please, can I please, like, at least let me re-sing a couple lines?" He was like, "No, you're not. This is going out like this. We're mixing the reference." And so it drove me crazy, but I'm really glad he did that because it probably wouldn't have matched the sentiment that I had when I first sang it and first wrote it. So he definitely teaches me to like everything doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay. When it's supposed to be perfect, he'll let me know. But when it feels good, he also lets me know, like, no, this feels good. We're leaving it like this. So that's one thing I learned about myself and I'm unlearning. I'm unlearning that as well.
Girl, everybody, all the creatives have to unlearn that because I think
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
perfectionists were hard on ourselves. So, yeah,
Yeah.
we definitely need people around us to be like,
You're tripping.
put it out there. It sounds or it looks good the way that it is.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, so he made a really, really good call. I didn't know that.
Was the demo. Sang it one time.
So what can we expect now from you? I'm not saying what's next because you
Mhm.
just put out this EP and I hate when people put things out and then they just move on to the next thing. It's like, wait a minute now.
Like, can we love on these songs a little bit? Yeah.
Yes. We like work the songs a bit, like let's not get rid of this just yet. Let's,
Yeah.
get more people to even like recognize that the EP is here. But what can we expect from this whole era from set?
Yeah, this is so I'm going to be showing more of the process. I'm going to be showing more of my process about how I what I went through with while I was writing these songs and in the process of creating the songs, and then also just really like me too, not thinking so far ahead, like really enjoying the moment, really enjoying the music and working them as much as I can. So I'm going to be in set. I'm going to be in this space for a minute. Like I don't want to even leave set because I really think these are amazing songs. They're very we created them very intentionally, and I don't plan to move on from them that quickly myself. So I'm going to do everything in my power to get as many people as possible to hear the project, down to, like I said, showing BTS and showing more performances of the songs. That's where I'll be. I'll be in set land for a little bit.
And do you have any shows coming up or is there anybody that you want to like tour with?
Yeah, well, that's I want to tour with anybody that's going on tour. I want to get on the road ASAP. You know somebody that needs an opener, tell them to call me. I'm trying to get on the road ASAP. But I do have a show. I'm going to Southwest on March 15th. I have a show out there. So that's the next place I'll be, and then from there we do have some shows that are on the board, but they haven't been confirmed. So just tune in, and I'll make announcements as we go.
Perfect. And what's the best way that we as fans can support you?
The best way is just please spread the word. Spread the word, word of mouth. Tell somebody about a song, play someone a song, send someone my album, and follow me on Instagram. But just spread the music. Spread GoGo Morrow as far and wide as you can.
I love that. And what are your social media handles? Where can we follow you online?
Yes, it's GoGo Morrow on all social media platforms. GoGoMorrow on Instagram, on Snapchat, on Twitter, on TikTok, on whatever else there is. And
Yeah,
you guys can also text my number for updates, and it's 213-729. What is my number? 858. 213-729-1858. And that's like personal text I send with all my updates.
I love it. Okay, perfect. So we know what to do now. We can go ahead, we can follow you, support any shows that are coming up. Definitely check you out live.
You too.
Definitely can't wait. And if I do make it over to the US, I would definitely love to see you live with these songs.
Yeah.
I'm ready
You're in
too. Cool. No, I wish I was in Toronto. I am in Montreal.
Montreal. Okay. I love Canada. I've toured there a lot. It's so beautiful. So
It
beautiful.
is.
So hopefully I'll make it there soon.
Yeah, no, that would be cool. Of course, in the summer, it's a little too cold right now, but
Yeah, I know. I just left. It's cold at home. I just left New York, so it's freezing there. It's freezing in Philly too. So I'm sure it's cold where you are
yeah,
too.
yeah. So I always suggest people to come in the summer. Do not come
Mm-hmm.
here in the winter. It is not the place to be. I'm always trying to leave. Yeah.
Good to know. Note to self: wait till summer.
Yes, please wait till summer. Do not freeze like me. But yes, thank you so much, GoGo Morrow, for being on the Total R&B podcast. I really do appreciate this because I know you have a busy schedule. So I always appreciate your time.
Not too busy for you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being one of the few R&B platforms that still support us independent artists. Thank you so much.
Of course. And for everybody that's listening and watching, this is the Total R&B podcast. My name is Loreena. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at total.rnb and YouTube at Total R&B Podcast. And I will be back with a brand new interview.